Hey guys, this week on the Trading Edge Breakdown, we're going to focus on a new opportunity on the euro dollar. We're going to follow up on the trade we spoke about last week on the dollar index. And at the very end, I got some pretty cool giveaways for you guys. So let's hop in. Euro dollar on the daily. First thing we need to understand is that we had an interesting end of the week. Not only did we have our non-farm payroll report that comes out, that's an every first Friday type of thing, but we had Fed Chair Powell speak about some idea changes to monetary policy going forward, which caused the market to get a little crazy. And where that craziness brought us to was actually a pretty significant level in the market. So you hear me guys talk about elephant candles all the time. It's kind of my way of talking about supply and demand, and essentially an elephant candle is just a big candle on your chart that stands out. I don't really take a lot of time to teach supply and demand because I think if you understand support and resistance, you can identify all supply and demand zones as well. But they are important, especially at predicting key levels of potential ends and or reversal. So if I look at the most recent candles, how we ended the week, you can see that we had a handful of strong bullish candles. These are these green guys spiking up here. We had a little bit of a doji-ish pin bar candle right here, a rejection on Thursday, and then we ended Friday with a push up and then a little bit of correction to end the week, basically closing in the midway point of this candle. So we know that we break down candles into three areas. We have strong candles, we have neutral candles, we have weak candles. Although this is a rather large-ish green candle, we did close in the middle, which is going to make it a neutral candle. And if you guys want more about that, we are going to do a presentation, next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We still have a couple spots left. So if you want to sign up for that and learn more about kind of how to read candlesticks, make sure you attend. I'll put a link in the show notes below. But what I wanted to show you is that, yes, the candlestick formation and how we close are important, but what's also important is where we did it at. And if we look left, structure leave clues, you're going to see that if I highlight this level right here, and it's going to be the candle previous to this elephant candle, right? Let's put that bad boy on. Insert elephant sound. It's a little too big. Oh, shrink that guy up some. You're going to see that we came and we tested a pretty significant level of structure. This is a level of structure where I would predict an extension to terminate and a potential reversal to happen. So if you are a counter trend structure-based trader, this is a good area to pay attention to. Not only do we have that, but if you want some more clues, you want to add some more evidence, you can go to your indicators, right? My indicator of choice is going to be the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. You can see that we are overbought. Now, in my settings, my overbought are really overbought. If you click this indicator and put it on, you're going to see your oversold and overbought conditions typically at 70 for overbought, 30 for oversold. I've stretched mine out a little bit to 80-20 because I want to look for those extreme areas. One isn't better than the other. It's just how I like to work it in my personal trading. And my advice when it comes to indicators is never rely on the default. Tweak it around based on what you want to achieve. Other indicators that kind of show exhaustion as well would be like a Bollinger Band or a Keltner channel if you were to throw any of those on your chart. Let's just do it real quick while we're talking about it. You're going to see that we should be, I would guess, we're going to be way above those bands as well. If I can actually get Bollinger Band on here. There we go, 2 L's, right? You can see that we are way above, closing above the extreme of that band. Keltner channels are going to be a little bit more tighter, right? All of this to say that we are in an extreme area where the market looks to be exhausted. And these are the key areas that counter trend traders should look for reversals at. So let's drop down to our lower time frame. I guess first and foremost, the best signal that you can get here on the daily would be a lower low, lower close, right? If we were to start the next day or end the next day, I guess you can say, with a candle that breaks and closes below this green guy, that would be a very positive sign for a move downward. And if we were to make a move downward, where would I expect this to go to? Well, our next key levels of structure, which are going to be right here. Look left, structure leaves clues. Inside, right here. Look left, structure leaves clues. I'll highlight these guys so you can see which ones I'm looking at. 1. This shelf right here would be 2. And then the third one would be the very bottom of this outside return right here. So 3 levels you can look for potential targets at. Now let's drop down to our lower time frame. We go down to the 4-hour. And on the 4-hour chart, we have something interesting because we've had a price formation form that really disrupts my way of trading, right? So price action rallied up. We retraced a little bit right here. And what we would have been looking for at this area would be a double top. But you can see that this green candle, the one that we hoped would give us the double top, actually breaks and closes above, which disrupts the entire thing. Now, as far as double tops, it invalidates a double top, so you'd have to look for a different reason for entry. So there's two choices. One, if you have no other option, you just have to leave this and wait, and wait for the next opportunity, or you can turn to an alternative option. And there's a few alternative options that I see. One, this may turn into a rising channel, right? A rising channel is a loss of momentum pattern. Loss of momentum is what we're already seeing on the higher time frames. If we continue to drift up this way, we're going to see some channel type action, and that is a positive sign for a potential reversal. Again, a loss of momentum into a key level of structure. Expect relief. We can also team that with divergence on the RSI, right? And divergence is this. The RSI and your price chart should typically be doing the same thing, right? Price is going up, RSI is going up, boop, 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 boop. However, you can see that we've created new highs here on our price chart. We got a high 1 and high 2 there. However, on our RSI, we have a high 1 and then a low. Woo, right? Things got different. That is going to be called divergence. Again, nothing on your chart is a say-all, be-all for this will happen, but this is a good clue, again, of loss of momentum, right? If you catch the drift, everything is pointing towards loss of momentum, loss of momentum, loss of momentum. We're trying to build our case. So that's something that certainly could happen as well. I'm actually on the next pair, I'm going to tell you or show you a cool little technique that we've been working on that you can take advantage of this, right? So make sure you hang on for the dollar index analysis as well. Something else you can look for is this, right? This is going to be a very important part, right? Because this is our previous low, our previous outside return. Again, market went boop, and then we went bop, and then we went boo, right? Running out of words here. If we were to violate this level, meaning break and close, whenever I say violate, I mean break and close, very important that we have both. This would give us a rotation in this short-term bullish move and can set us up for a potential bearish move to the downside, meaning that if we were to violate this level, we can then look for, you can trade it as a breakout, of course, if you're aggressive, but you can then look for a pullback and the chance to continue lower. And guys, remember, the zones that we're looking for lower, that I deleted because I got too busy with the charts, are going to be right here. So there's still plenty of room for a potential profit. Some of you guys are probably shouting head and shoulders as well. Yes, it could be. Again, we have no idea at this point, but as traders, this is why it's important to be skilled at technical analysis, because we can run through kind of our mental Rolodex for you guys that are young. Those are the things that we used to keep numbers in before we had cell phones and everything was electronic, right? The good old days. A head and shoulders could be a possibility as well. The point is, when we do our analysis, we want to be prepared for if this, then that, if this, then that, if this, then that. So we can kind of mentally walk through all of the opportunities and prep how or if we can get involved. That way, if they actually do happen on the chart, we're not caught off guard, we don't panic, we don't have FOMO. We're simply like waiting for whatever we need to happen, and we can get involved calm, cool, and collected. So keep an eye for those short opportunities here on the euro dollar. Now let's dive in a little bit deeper to our falling and rising channel situation here on the dollar index. So we spoke about the dollar index in one of my random midweek videos. That's why it's so important that you subscribe to the channel, because randomly I do random stuff and it's super cool. But we have a few things happening here on the dollar index. We have a cipher. I'm going to draw it on roughly, but I'm assuming you guys saw the video, something like this. We have another elephant zone, right? Structure, supply, demand zone right down here that we've come into. And we spoke about a few opportunities. One of them was a potential long opportunity at structure, and that one is starting to look delightful. Not only did we have a high momentum move into that level, but we saw at the end of the week, and the dollar index is very similar to the euro dollar, right? It's basically the inverse of the euro dollar for the most part, so that's why it could look very similar. But we ended with a high momentum move and then some lower momentum candles. So again, we're seeing a loss of momentum into this level. You see that, look at these candles right here. Close at the very bottom, strong bear. Close at the very bottom, strong bear. close at the very bottom. Strong bear. I'm supposed to rip off my shirt, but I didn't do my push-ups today, so I don't want you guys to see that. Give me a few months. I'll be ready for the shirtless trading. But strong, strong, strong. And then you can see the candlesticks or the John Wicks, right? It's a inside joke from the comment section, the shorts that I do. And you know, if you get it, you get it, right? The John Wick candles down here showing us that there is some buying pressure pushing us back up. And again, RSI barely oversold for me, minus 20, where we went down to 19, I believe. Let me just double check this real quick. Yep, 1976. Interesting number, right? 76ers. Oh, gosh, they're bad. Anyway, so we got oversold as well if we want to add some kind of confirmation, some evidence to that. Once again, we go down to the lower time frame. You can see a clear picture of this loss of momentum pattern. Now, we've had a few things already. We've had a higher high, higher close down there. Oh, I should double check that. Again, looking at this for the first time. Our high is 103.83. Our close is 103.83. Equal, unless you're using kind of micro pips. If you're using micro pips, then yes, but equal. So not a higher high, higher close. But a higher high, higher close would be a good opportunity for an entry reason. Something else you can use is kind of this funky little RSI thing that we've been playing around with. I'm going to walk through this quick because this is nothing that's ironed out. We've just been playing around with this for years, or not a year, maybe about a year in the live room. And one day we'll actually kind of do some research into this. But essentially what I'm looking for, to make it short, is a violation of this high right here, this RSI high right there, which we had, boom, a pullback, something like that, boom, and then another violation of this most recent high right there. So if RSI were to bounce up there, that would be a very good sign combined, right, with the loss of momentum pattern and a candlestick clue on the chart for a buying opportunity. And again, these patterns are a little bit tricky, not this one necessarily because it comes at structure, but you see a lot of these loss of momentum patterns, these falling and rising channels and wedges, and they're often hard to get into because by nature they continue to go downward, and you're trying to predict, well, when is this downward momentum going to end, and we see that relief. So having a clue like this on the RSI is something that just gives us a little bit of edge, right? And that's what trading is about, increasing your edge by the smallest of margin that tell us that, hey, this is more likely to happen now versus continue down or versus go up later or something like that. So something we've been working on in the strategy lab. You'll probably, if anything ever comes of it, you'll hear about it more on the channel, obviously, but it takes a while. We work on it, we discuss it with our traders on the platform, and then eventually it becomes something that is in our arsenal. Speaking of arsenal, if you're interested in upgrading your trading arsenal, meaning your trading equipment, right? I've got a really cool gift for you guys. It is a 100% free trading computer buyer's guide. So if you are someone that is unfamiliar with technology like yours truly, or someone that is familiar with it and kind of wants some ideas of what needs to be in your trading machine, make sure you check out this free guide. Put your email in, it'll be sent to you 100% free. And if you ever do want to buy something from them, I think you get a little $50 discount or something like that as well. But really, really, really cool stuff. And speaking of really cool, I have a really cool video coming out for you tomorrow. It's going to take you behind the scenes at one of our live room sessions where we're actually discussing a strategy that I rarely discuss but is really good for day trading, so make sure you tune into the channel tomorrow for that. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see many of you guys at the workshop next week. Link is below for the computer guide as well. And until then, plan your trade, trade your plan. Take care. Go Toffees.
I want to be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display.